Welcome to Lifestyle by SK, where wine, cigars, and relationships create that tapestry of extraordinary experience. And what I want to discuss with you all today is the six figure fantasies versus the real foundations, building love with the everyday man. And the question that I want to pose to you all is, with us currently being in 2024 and everyone seems to want a man making six figures driving a luxury car or living the luxury lifestyle, but is this fantasy costing us real relationships? And I began to think about during Thanksgiving Day, sitting down with family, and we were just talking, having conversations about relationships. And I always like to bring those conversations up because it gets people moving and people really try and debate and prove their particular side of their story. And just sitting there and listening. And I was talking to both men and women as well. And what I noticed is the women held a specific position, and the men and I were thinking alike as we were going into the conversation. But what I posed to the table was, how much money does that man have to make in order for that woman to be in her most feminine state? And I posed that question because we all know that in order to live a specific lifestyle, you have to have a specific amount of money. In other words, that man cannot be making $40,000 a year, but he wants to expose his woman to a lavish lifestyle and means. That's not going to work. But what will work is how we view the person that we could potentially be getting with. We can kind of make expectations around what we both are bringing in and how we want to live and establish the foundation of our household. But I posed this question to the women, and what was very, very interesting is the couple of different sides that I had. One of the first things is that I heard from one of the women was, I want to be able to not have to work. And when you're looking at just the average black household, the working class and the working poor make between $15,000 to $20,000 a year collectively together. When you look at the working class, you have a job, you're going to it, you and your husband are working, and you're making it by, you're looking at between $25,000 to $50,000 a year. But when you're looking at the middle class, which is what we're seeing, you may have you a little basic, is CLA, Mercedes Benz, got your 5 Series BMW over here, your Dodge Charger over here. Just the middle class. Got a nice 3-bedroom home. On an average, probably making between $50,000 to $150,000 a year. But when you start, the higher that you go up, the majority of us are in the working middle class, $50,000 to $150,000 a year. But ladies, what I'm talking about is the men that you all are looking for are in the upper middle and the upper class, meaning they're making $150,000 to $200,000 a year or $200,000 a year and over. So what I'm asking is, for the men that you all are looking for, because you know they make six figures, what is the starting point and the end point? Because I just gave you the examples, and that's what I was trying to pitch to the ladies that I was talking with at the table. And the two sides that I always hear is, it's not about the money, but I just want to be able to live this specific way. Then the other side, well, he can make all this money a year, but he's abusive. And I'm not even talking about that. We're not even getting into abuse, because the same women that are talking about the abuse at this particular level, they're still getting with what we call in our community the Pookies and Ray Rays. They ain't making that if anything, and living up under y'all roof, and y'all still dealing with them, having kids by them and things of that nature. I'm not even talking about that. I want to keep the conversation much more in a positive note because I really am trying to figure out what is the best way that we can bring black families together and bring the nuclear family back, where you have the man, the husband, the wife, the mother, the son and daughter, the dog, and the house in a nice neighborhood, living the average everyday American dream. That's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of conversation that I want to have with you all. And that's the kind of conversation I was bringing forth to the table, is how much money does that man have to make, ladies, in order for you to be in your most feminine state? Because what we're seeing through social media and through societal norms is the more money that that man makes, the more feminine the women around him are going to be. The less money you make, the less feminine the women are going to be to you. That's what I'm talking about. The average Joe working at Home Depot, is he going to get the same amount of femininity that you all exert as the man who pulls up at Home Depot who's making well over six figures? Which one is the lady going to be most feminine to? And femininity is not just about you going to get your nails done and hair done and stuff like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you being in the natural state of you being able to not only take care of the household, but also if your man is in need of something, that you are able to sustain those particular type of needs, whether that be, you know, making sure the kids are good, making sure the household is good, making sure you all are making the right decisions for the direction of the household. Like, there's so many different things, just the natural masculinity state, the natural femininity state, bringing those two together. But the division here is the amount of money that the man is bringing into the house. That is what I'm talking about. That is what I'm trying to get to in the conversation, ladies. But I just gave you the different levels. I gave you over 5 different levels of the amount of money that the black family and the brackets that they are in. Which bracket would you be okay accepting that a man making, and you all are able to build your household together? Now, you may not live in a 17,000 square foot home or even a 1,700 square foot home, but would any of you ladies take an average everyday working man who may be stocking at the local grocery store, bringing in less than $50,000 a year, and you stand in a place less than 900 square feet? Would any of you build with a man like that? Because I even posed a question to the ladies at the table. What percentage of the household would you want to be responsible for if you had to? And some have said 50-50. Others have said there's no way 50-50 would work, which I agree. It needs to be 100%, 100%. And the reason why is, if one of you lose your job, if you work for other people, the other one should be able to sustain the household until the other person gets back on their feet. Because hard times are going to come when you're married. Somebody may get fired and let go, but whether you own your own business or not, there still has to be a monetary figure. Because me as a man, I know what I would need to bring to the table in order for it to work. But I'm not just looking at myself. I'm looking around just in society, the norms that we're pushing out now. You even got young girls coming out of high school saying they want a man that makes X number amount of dollars a year. Why is that? Why is that? There is no way a high school female graduate should be talking about they want a man making 6 figures a year, and they don't even know what they even want to do in college if they so choose to go. We are really in those times right now. And ladies, even if you do go to college, you get your PhD, you get your master's degree, bachelor's degree, associate degree, GED, whatever it may be, do you want to have to work if you end up meeting a guy, a man who is making in that middle to upper class figure mark or tax or bracket? Because I can't think of any of you who would not want to work. What I was thinking is, if you are dating the average man and the both of you bring in, let's say, $55,000, $60,000 a year. We're going to say, give it a nice round figure. We're going to say $60,000 a year. How many of you ladies are willing to get married and live a long, successful marriage with the man whose max salary for the rest of his life is going to be $60,000 a year? Would you be able to live with that? Truthfully. And I want the truth in the comments. I'm not here bashing anyone. I'm literally talking about how social media has changed the way that we view people, because think about this. We grew up, at least in our times, without social media. We only had access to the people within our community who may have been maybe the next town over, but you dated in the community that you were in. Now we have the ability to pick up our phones, our devices, and we're able to meet people across the world, and we're vetting people to figure out what kind of tax bracket that they're in to determine if, ladies, if you're going to give them the time of day or not. Because you're not being truthful to yourself. Because here's the thing, a lot of you are making it on your own, but you're saying that you wanted the man to take care of you. But what does it mean, taking care of you? Like, what do you actually mean behind it? Let's not stop there. What do you actually mean about that man taking care of you? And if you're saying that he's taking care of you, I need you to put a specific figure in the comments, and let's most definitely discuss why, and you need to be able to do that. Let's talk about it. If you're talking about that the man needs to take care of you, I want you to put in the comments below why you are justified to even get a man of that particular value. Because what I'm getting at is, instead of focusing on how much money that man makes, what you should be focusing on is how much how much would you accept to build with an average man, to build your household, to create much more nuclear families, to create generations to come that's going to be here after you, that is going to make it farther than what you make it. That's what I want to talk about. Because when hearing the ladies talk about this during Thanksgiving break was so interesting, because it let me know for the amount of money that a lot of you are talking about that you want, you're not even making yourself. Let me say that again. A lot of you are wanting the men to make X number amount of dollars a year, but you're not even making that yourself. So if you're not making that, are you qualified to get those particular type of men? And are those men looking for women like you? And so we're thinking about the lifestyle and the leisure, but we're not thinking about our future family. Average people get married every day. They build with one another. I would much rather see two average people who likely are not going to make more than $50,000 a year separately. I would much rather see two people who don't even make nowhere close to six figures successfully get married, successfully build their family, successfully get their home, successfully have a family and grow their family and build a foundation and teach their kids right and bring their kids right, and much more in a positive atmosphere. I'd much rather see that than see a person that's making six figures, or a woman with a man that's making six figures and not actually trying to build with anyone. I'm more about bringing families together and creating foundations, but we are so far away from that because we are letting social media guide the way that we actually move. Because what is wrong with building with an average hardworking man, ladies? An average hardworking man could be that man who's the electrician, who is that plumber, who may or may not have their own company. They go and come home from work, or leave for work, come home from work every day. We are so romanticized over the amount of money that a person makes. So you will overlook loyalty and stability and potential and mutual growth. You will overlook that to run over here to somebody who you may or may not be able to actually get. But I want you all to really think about this, because these were some really good conversations during the break, because we had so much fun. Nobody got the swinging fist and nothing like that, but it was so fulfilling to be able to see how women think about certain things, how men think about certain things. We was all able to sit back and listen to each other's points. I really think we need more conversation around this, because a lot of women are confusing the value of that six-figure man and the value of the average man. Like, there are some very big differences there, because that six-figure earner is only a small subset of the black population anyway. But where can we move from this point? If you didn't hear anything else that I talked to you about today, I want to leave you with this. A man does not need six figures to build a 6-star life with you. Sometimes all you need, ladies, is somebody to love you, who's going to honor you. You all are going to honor each other. You all are going to build a team together, and you all are going to have a vision together to build that six-figure lifestyle together, and not just alone, separately. So like, listen, subscribe, people. Lifestyle by SK, where wine, cigars, and relationships create that tape ship extraordinary experience. You all have a good one.